Thank you. This is my second time speaking at Share, so I'm very excited to be here. We'll take a look at Google algorithmic changes. Algorithm alert, taking a look at what we need to pay attention to in 2017. I, again, work for 3 different brands: Elements Massage, Fitness Together, which is a personal training brand, and a brand new concept that's called Fit36. That's studios of a gym-like workout where it's 36 minutes of high-intensity interval training. Brands that are all in the wellness sphere, but very, very diverse and different audiences. I manage 9 domains that are up on the screen here, so that's a lot of domains going on within one BrightEdge platform. I have individual dashboards for each of my franchise owners. So I have more than 400 reports set up in BrightEdge. This is a fun quote from Search Engine Watch, and it's very true, particularly now as all of the artificial intelligence is coming out. Complacency will easily destroy your search engine rankings. So it just is to reinforce that you want to constantly be keeping up on what's going on, constantly optimize your site. Even if you think your site and your content is doing well, you never want to just let your website go into maintaining itself. You want to constantly keep ahead of it. Here's some key takeaways: really understanding the machine learning in search engine marketing and being able to align your SEM and SEO strategies. Now that the ads down the right rails are gone from Google, that real estate in ads is even more competitive and getting more expensive. So you really want to pay attention to having both sides, paid and unpaid, work together, and not just each working in their own vacuums. We'll take a quick look back at what's happened so far in 2016. There was an unnamed update January 8th. It was a core algorithm update, Google confirmed. A lot of SEOs have seen a lot of fluctuation in site traffic around that time. Then there was the AdWords shakeup, as I mentioned, that happened February 23rd. So there's less real estate. So the costs are going up like crazy, and click-through ratio on organic is now lower than it used to be. So you really have to be careful in what you're optimizing. There was another unnamed update on May 10th. Google did not confirm that update, but again, the community noticed a lot of fluctuations. So it's helpful when you know that other people in the community that are keeping a pulse on their sites every day. It's interesting and helpful to know what they're thinking. So being a part of an SEO community is very insightful in search. Then there was Mobilegeddon 2.0, which happened on May 12th. So it wasn't as big of an impact as you may have seen if your site was not mobile friendly last year, but this theme of everything being responsive and mobile friendly is only going to continue into 2017. As we heard about in the keynote today as well, AMP pages are going to be a huge part of that. So you'll really want to make sure that your website is optimized for mobile in the new year. One of the things that I do to keep track of what's going on with all these algorithms is I create events within BrightEdge. So you'll see across the bottom is at each point along the way where there were Google search engine algorithm or Google algorithm updates. It's really helpful to just be able to keep track and see exactly if your site's seeing the same impact that maybe others are seeing. Just in September of 2016, you might have seen another shakeup in the digital landscape. There was the Possum update, image results drop, and Penguin. So Possum was September 1st. It was unconfirmed by Google. The search engine optimization community is suspecting that it's rumored to have the local 3-pack may become at some point a 2-pack, leaving one of those slots for potentially an ad space. And that's not confirmed yet, but that's what everyone's sort of speculating, and it looks like that's where things are going. But as of September 1st, the community saw a lot of fluctuation in traffic to local 3-packs. Local 3-packs are crucial in a business like mine where it's individual locations that are owned and operated and they're their own businesses, just to get directions to a studio. If something like that is off, if the local search 3-pack information, the NAP information is incorrect, it can have a huge impact to your business. So we'll take a look here. This is just an example of my sites continuing to rank for local 3-pack results, and this is very, very important to each business owner. Also in September on the 13th, there was a 50% drop in search engine results pages containing an image. So the images are not ranking. If people want to search for an image specifically, they'll go to the Images tab within Google. So that opens up another slot for a potential organic result there. Here's another quick screenshot that shows if you're the local 3-pack and the fluctuations there. My site saw a little bit of a drop in local 3-pack results around that time. This also gives a look into quick answers and how that's becoming popular, and it's a great way to get your content and your site up in rankings. So Penguin 4.0 came out September 23rd. Sites with spammy backlinks are being penalized. Who in the room was an SEO pre-2010? Of the people who were an SEO pre-2010, how many of you have ever bought links from directories and things like that? So now all that hard work that all of us did and all the money that we spent building all of the paid backlinks, now we're going to get penalized for it seems like. So this look at spammy backlinks is going to be a huge thing. You may have legacy links out there that you don't even know about. So you'll want to find out what those backlinks are, and potentially you can find them out from BrightEdge, and then you can submit them in Search Console, and you can disavow those spammy backlinks. So you can tell Google, okay, this batch of links, this is a spammy site. I'm not trying to, flood my website with spammy links. Don't pay attention to any links that are from this site. So that's one thing that you can do to have Google not penalize your site for any type of backlinks that were less quality. And here's just another example of how I chart looking at all these changes, and I make notes as events, and then I can really keep track of if I am seeing an impact from one of the updates. So for 2017, we'll take a look at intrusive interstitials, schema data, local AMP pages, quick answers, expanded meta, and again, local 3-packs. This is what most of us know as a pop-up. Intrusive interstitials. So sites with this type of pop-up will be penalized starting January 10th. I have a unique challenge in my business because I allowed franchise owners to be able to control snippets that are on their websites. So they can add code for their own Google Analytics accounts, they can own their own conversion tracking, and they can add scripts and JavaScript to the website. So some studios started adding these pop-up coupons to their individual sites, and they have their own contracts with this company that allows them to, that creates these pop-ups. So that's very challenging for us as the franchisor because websites that have this are now going to be penalized. So, now I'm in a situation where I need to figure out what I'm going to do because now even studios that do not have a contract, that do not run these pop-ups, their sites will also be penalized because it's all within the same domain of other businesses that do use these coupons. So if you have these coupons, keep an eye out, watch out for January, because I think it's going to be quite a big impact to the business. There are some of these types of pop-ups that are okay. The ones that are okay are considered to be responsible interstitials. So it's something like if something pops up and says, are you over 21 years of age? Something like that. If it's maybe like a liquor store or something like that, that's okay. And Google will say, if you're being responsible, if it's a notice about cookies, something of that nature, you're free and clear. But if it is just a intrusive, interruptive, spammy pop-up looking thing, your site will probably be penalized. One other type that is okay is the pop-up, the banners that display on mobile. So something like if you have one that says download our app, that should probably be okay, and your site likely won't be penalized for something like that. Schema data. Schema.org is a very, very important, crucial piece to have on your website. It's just a small piece of code, but it can make a huge difference in how you show up in search results. Only between 100 and 1,000 domains are currently using schema data for day spa. So I can put this right into the code and tell Google right in the code that this website is a spa, or whatever type of business you have, or mine are massage therapy studios. But if you can find this the closest to your business and add this one tag, it's a quick and easy way to show Google that you're following Google's best practices. So you just go on to schema.org, you find the type of business, you can choose items and categories and that kind of thing, and then it will generate the code for you. So it's just a quick and easy, you can copy and paste it across your entire site. Site speed is going to be very crucial also in 2017. If a page doesn't load within 3 seconds, 40% of users abandon that page. That's a huge number of potential clients and customers that your site could be losing. You want to make sure to use Google Tag Manager to have asynchronous firing JavaScript, just meaning that it can fire at any time. It does not have to fire sequentially. So again, my studios were able to add their own JavaScript and their own Google Analytics codes and that kind of thing. So if they have outdated JavaScript in that field, it would have to fire one at a time, which can really slow down the site, and it can really negatively impact not only your search results, but also the customer experience. So as much as you can do to compress your websites, reduce image sizes, save all of your images for web, all of those things can really speed up your site. Even just taking 1 second off will dramatically improve your site. And only keep essential cookies on your site. If you have a ton of cookies, it can slow down the site as well. There's a tool where you can test this that's in Google Developers Tools. It's developers.google.com/speed/page speed. And you can just plug your website in and it will give you a score of how your site speed is doing. And if your site speed isn't great, it will give you suggestions on what you can do to improve. So amplified mobile pages. It's stripped down version of the code for mobile. So it'll strip out any kind of comment sections or anything like that. But you also want to be careful when you're using these AMP pages that you test them and make sure of what's exactly being stripped out. Because if you're not careful, your actual forms that you are hoping consumers will fill out, they might get stripped from the code in these AMP pages. So just have to be really careful and make sure that you test everything before you start running ads to it or anything like that. And AMP pages can improve site speed anywhere between 15 and 85%. So if you increase your site speed by 85%, you're definitely going to see a major impact in terms of customers coming to the site, and then ultimately your site will rank better. Some sort of nerd jargon here. Minimal styles and tags. It's the asynchronous JavaScript. It will stop external scripts that are weighing down the page load. So we don't need to get too far into the weeds on the code type things, but it's just to keep in mind that it has its own content delivery network, and so it caches the pages. So you want to make sure that you're getting geared up for the AMP pages that are coming out. Quick answers. Quick answers are a great content strategy, ranking for those spots at the very top of Google where it says it's part of the search result, actually. So if you say something like, how much do I tip a massage therapist? It will come up right in the answers, so consumers don't even need to click away to your site to at least read the first couple of sentences as a teaser. And then if they're interested in your content, then that's when they can click through. So that's a very valuable space to be in. For 2017, I'm restructuring all of my content to be geared toward quick answers. So everything will be a how-to or a what is, because those are moments that consumers are looking for. So something like, how much do I tip a massage therapist? Consumers are definitely asking those questions. They don't want to ask the massage therapist themselves. They're maybe embarrassed to, let's say, when they're there. So getting in front of this can really have a lot of weight in search results. So you want to make sure to do that within Data Cube, either for your site or even also with competitor sites. You can put in your competitor site and then see what are they ranking for that is a how-to or a what happens type question to insert yourself into those conversations. And here's a glimpse of how much we've improved our rankings for quick answers so far, and we're only continuing to work on that in 2017. Google is also testing longer meta. So it reduces organic search engine results page real estate, which increases ad profitability. So now the meta descriptions are going to be longer, so that's going to push everything on the page down and make it so that there are potentially less results on page 1. And you'll want to continue to front load meta titles and descriptions in case it is cut short, but you want to also have enough characters in there. Make sure it's over 100 characters. In case Google does display the entire meta description, you want to use all 100 of those characters. Local 3-pack, you have to make sure that your NAP is optimized. A lot of you may use something like a data aggregator to push your content out to, and that's going to be crucial in those Google 3-pack rankings. Even something as small as if you spell out sweet versus if you write STE can have a dramatic impact. So you have to be really careful with your name, address, and phone number, otherwise known as NAP location. And again, speculation is that at some point it may only become a 2-pack. Always put the user experience first while accommodating machine learning, and your site will stay on top. So continuing to follow Google's best practices is the best way to go. You're not going to be able to game Google anymore, let's say. So just creating the best user experience, no matter what changes in the landscape, no matter what changes in search, Google's always going to prioritize the best user experience. So if you're delivering what consumers want, your site will always outrank sites that are maybe trying to rank for something but are providing less of a user experience. Thank you.